East or Indonesia or where the Islamic countries are. We are actually looking at the parties who enter into contracts like Japan, Germany, all these parties there who enter into contracts with Islamic parties and offering them, Muslim parties, and offering them these Islamic arbitration rules. Because we just realized that in the Islamic world, arbitration has not taken off, so we are creating a new market. So we hope that it will take off there. So we are working again closely with Bani in Indonesia, but we are selling the product that we have. So the I-rules, we are looking now into maritime arbitration. Malaysia is a great seafaring nation, great trading nation. So we are trying to actually build up maritime arbitration, and that will be something that I'm working in this year and next year, and I'll be telling you all the next report what we are doing. Sports arbitration, as I said, with ICAS coming in, we are now in discussion with the Olympic Council. We are setting up a sports arbitration procedure in Malaysia, which we hope to sell to the Asia-Pacific region as an alternative. But again, the main center now is in Australia. There's hardly any sports arbitration being done in Asia, although the Olympics has come to Beijing, it has gone to Korea, it's going to Japan soon, but sports arbitration is still based in Switzerland, Europe, and America. So we need to create that capacity, facility, and so that more Asians and Africans participate in the resolution of sports disputes. Construction industry, I think when we were told that we are going to be the sole adjudication authority for CIPA, which is the Construction Industry Payment and Adjudication Act, it was gazetted last year, passed by Parliament last year. We started roadshows. We started roadshows explaining to the public, explaining to the stakeholders what this act means. We have done conferences. We went around the country. In fact, when the act was going through Parliament, we went around the country telling them what the act is going to do so that everybody gets ready. We held a very big conference in October last year where there were 400 participants coming in from all over the world just to talk about how our act is going to be in operation. And then we had various talks and one of it was CIPA and beyond, what will happen. We have a training program, a dedicated training program because we are the Adjudication Control Authority. We have set up a training program, 5-day training program, where you become accredited as an adjudicator. And the adjudicator, we have been going around the country. At the present moment, as I'm speaking here, there is a training course going on in Kuala Lumpur, where we have about 65 people attending. And that training course is over 5 days. And for 4 days is instruction, lectures, and all these things, tutorials. And then the last day is an examination, multiple choice, and decision writing. So we have trained so far about 300 plus adjudicators. So that when the act comes into being, when the minister decides, we can hit the ground running. We had this conference, big conference in Hilton last year, international conference. We have also set up the infrastructure to support the CIPA bill, which is the Malaysian Society of Adjudicators, which is open to, membership is open internationally. So this has been set up, and now we have about 150 members, and it will grow, and then we think that this will be the one that will be carrying on the discourse of what adjudication in Malaysia, because KLRCA will be the Adjudication Control Authority, we will be the regulatory authority, appointing authority, whereas I think the debate, the education and all these things should be with the society. So we have set up the society. I'm the president of the society, but I've told very clearly that I'll be stepping down after the society has some footing, so that the private sector and the public sector takes over and run the society as a counterpoise to the regulatory body, so that we can get this feedback that comes through. Capacity building, we have done a lot of talks on ADR. In fact, every week, if you're on our email list, we have a e-blast list of 150,000 emails. But if you're on our list, if I can get the list, I can put you all on the list. You will get all these things that we are organizing, And almost every week there's an event, there's a talk, and we have a lot of capacity building. We have a lot of training and development. So we talk to different groups. We talk to the Malaysian, the corporate Malaysia. We also talk to people outside, but we have evening talks. This is one of the things that goes on every month. Every month we have an evening talk on different topics. In fact, anybody who passes through town, where I try to catch hold of him. In fact, I was talking to Sir Michael Woods just now. I said, if you are coming through KL, let me know, so I can get you to give a talk. If it, so we're doing that. We also do capacity building in terms of a structured course called the Diploma in International Commercial Arbitration. We don't do the training. It is the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators UK that does the training, but we bring it through Australia branch, and we have held about 6 of it now, 6 diplomas since I took over as director, and it is a Diploma in International Commercial Arbitration, which is given by the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, but we hold it in Kuala Lumpur. We get an international faculty that lectures. It is a 9-day diploma, after which there's an exam 2 months later. And then we have, let's say, normally about 24 delegates or students, and they will sit through 9 days of lectures, and then they will sit for the exam, and then they will get that diploma. And it has been very, very successful. It is modeled on the same diploma that is run in Oxford. So we have managed to actually build this through Australia and bring it to Kuala Lumpur. In fact, I'm hoping that if we can get enough trainers, that it can become an Asian event, not coming from Australia, but we need to get the trainers. People must be prepared. Yeah, very interesting is that I can actually invite people to come from all over the world, and they will come. But when you try to invite, let's say, an Asian to come, sometimes it's so difficult to get. I think that's one of the problems we have. We do not have enough people prepared to give their time. So we've been doing that, and that diploma is now going to go on in November. November 9th, it will go on for 9 days. We support the moods. One of the ways to actually promote arbitration is through moot competitions. And moot competitions is very, very important in that you have law students who actually deal, particularly now they are specialized moots, where like Vis moots in Vienna, Vis moots in Hong Kong, then we have the Jessups in America, and then in Asia, the one that is developing now is Law Asia. And we have been the main sponsors for Law Asia for the last 3 years. And the KLRCA rules has been used because we are the headline sponsors for that. And I take it as a very important thing because a young lawyer, the first time he may come across arbitration in a realistic situation is when he prepares for the moots. And then these lawyers are going to become practicing lawyers. They are going to become people very, very senior. Eventually, you always remember there is arbitration. There is actually an institution called KLRCA, and that's how we've been thinking. As I think it was reported that, and I think Madam Chair also mentioned, and Professor Rahmat mentioned, is one of the great events of last year, or this year, it became this year, is that ALCO and the Malaysian government allowed me to stay on, in the sense that they renewed the KLRCA's mandate, ALCO, the mandate for KLRCA to continue to exist. And I think great credit to His Excellency Professor Rahmat, that he put in an automatic extension clause of 5 years so that we will not deal with it for the next 5 years. That means we have KLRCA will be in existence under the host country agreement for the next 10 years. It's not going to be questioned. So there is tenure now. And I think Tuan Radzi is there. He's instrumental. I mean, we work very closely with AGC, and the Attorney General Chambers, and I think the AG himself went through the agreement, and it's one of the good things that now we have actually tenure. the commitment by the Malaysian government for the next 10 years that KLRCA will be in existence. But let me talk about the commitment in other ways. So there was this signing ceremony. You can see His Excellency Professor Rahmat with our then Minister of Law. I have a new Minister of Law. There was elections, and my Minister of Law has become the Minister of Tourism. So they've changed, but you can see former President of ALCO, Tan Sri Gani Patel there, and then the signing of the agreement. This is our new minister. She was appointed after May, so I've given her a briefing. She's very, very supportive, very, very keen on the center's work, and I think that we will continue to have the wholesome support of the Malaysian government. What are our plans ahead? Let me talk about some of the plans ahead, because nothing will work unless you have plans. We have to continue to innovate. We have to continue to build our brand. We have to continue to do things that keep this center buzzing. And one of the programs that we have now done is that we are revising all our rules again. And we have taken back the feedback from the various parties, and we are revising all our rules. We are revising. It's done already. The rules are being done. They are now being edited. And one of the things that we have worked on is the fast-track rules. We have made it more, and the I rules. We have internationalized the I rules. The fast-track rules, we have made it more efficient so that we can deal with maritime arbitration. And we are going to launch the rules on the 24th of October. That is next month. By the minister. The minister has agreed to launch the rules. And the other big project of the internationalization is that we are translating our I rules and the main rules into 6 languages. Bahasa Malaysia, of course, Bahasa Indonesia, Arabic, Korean, Mandarin, and Spanish. Now, the reason you can ask me why am I choosing Spanish? Again, Spanish market is one of the unexplored markets because they are so far away. When I went to Bogota, I suddenly realized they are actually by themselves. And Hong Kong is trying to reach out, so now KLRCA will try to reach out. In terms of a language group, one of the fastest growing language group in the world, other than Mandarin, is actually Spanish. So they are also becoming a force, and I think they have a lot of dealing. Latin American countries have a lot of growing trade with Asia. So that is why we are translating. Of course, Arabic, and it is because of our I rules, and Bahasa Indonesia is also because of our I rules. So we are internationalizing the rules. The Malaysian government, as I mentioned in my last report, has committed a vast sum of money to upgrade the facilities of the Kuala Lumpur Regional Center and make KLRCA, particularly Kuala Lumpur, into a ADR hub. And towards the end, we will be moving out from our existing premises into this building that is now been allocated. It's 100,000 square feet. It is a building, British administration building, built in 1930. So the work is under progress now, the refurbishment. We will have 19 hearing rooms, an auditorium, state-of-the-art facilities. In fact, I just sent off my consultants off to Korea and Hong Kong, and because I saw some things, and they came back with a report, and we are going to incorporate the latest upgraded facilities, that it will be equivalent to any center in the world. In fact, the best, when it comes on, it will be the, but things are, what is the best at that moment is only for a year, I think, and then it moves on. The technology is moving on so fast. But what we have done is that you will have a full court recording system, you have live note, you will have translation, transcriber services, and more importantly, you will have storage facilities and all the things. And if you don't need those facilities, you can have a normal system. So we will have options, and video conferencing, of course. Nowadays, it is very, very, and international telephone conferencing. Nowadays, it's very, very common for an arbitral panel to actually just deal